This program is part of the Scene Projects podcast network. The Scene Project features interviews with independent musicians, comedians, and artists from across the Midwest. Become part of our community and support local art wherever you are. Welcome into a very exciting episode of The Scene. I'm your host, Bubba Startz, and with me today is my brother, C-Critt Veda. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's up, man? Glad you have me on here. Thank you.
Well, you got some big shows coming up that are going to affect our community in a big way. You got the Hip Hop for Charity shows. I wanted to get you on to talk about them all. Before we do that, though, why don't you tell our listeners a little bit, the short story, right, of who you are and how we got here today?
Well, I'm C-Critt Veda, as he said. I'm over here in the Black Hills of South Dakota. I spent most of my life as a extreme addict and doing outlaw shit, and now I've turned it over and I'm doing good things now, like positive stuff, charity shows, and I've given my life to music and my platform. So that's my story.
Well, and charity is how we met the first time. You were part of our show back there in Rapid City in December. We did a show for Saving Avery, which is now the name of the foundation that the Klima family have started. And I really appreciated you coming on with us then, taking a chance. You know, a lot of what we do is around the, country and rock music world. And you were our first hip hop artist, to do the showcase. I actually got another one. And it's something that I want to do more of, right? That's songwriters. Songwriters are storytellers. And that's really what we're about. There's no genre of music that's typical. We all tell a story. And, I think hip hop is finding its feet right now with the effect they can have on their community. It feels like, growing up for sure, the last 30 years, that the hip hop world was all money, fame, women, all of it, right? It was about the party. It was about the just all this stuff that's not even really real, and for most of those people in that world, it wasn't real either. You were living a false life on a different timeline. And I feel like the genre, and maybe it's from talking to my buddy West Coast just a few minutes ago out in Vegas, but that it's changing. People are tired about writing about superficial junk. We want to talk about the shit that's real to us. And then we want to take that out into the world and to use it to affect our communities. And nobody embodies that better than you, brother.
Thanks, man. Yeah, hip hop has really taken a journey from like gangster rap in the 90s that was real influential in negative ways. And it after that, it's really, like you said, it's really changed and progressed into a lot of people using it as a way to get their voice out, platform, especially in the underground. They say it in the mainstream music. They say things on their platform that, like you said, it may be make believe. I don't know. Here in the underground, we're definitely trying to use our platform in a positive way because we are in these communities, and it's all community first, really. I mean, why not attach a good cause to a music event and bring people out and raise some awareness for these things? I thought what you did with Saving Avery was amazing, and it was a blessing to be a part of that.
Well, and now we got some big ones coming up for you. We got Hip Hop for Hope. Why don't you go ahead, talk about Emily's Hope a little bit and the work that you're doing with that organization, and then we'll go through some of the other shows too.
Awesome. Yeah. So February 1st at the J Bar, we have Hip Hop for Hope. It's a fentanyl awareness fundraiser for a South Dakota charity named Emily's Hope, who's agreed to provide me with naloxone kits and fentanyl test strips for all the shows this year. And so that's huge because a lot of the situation on the streets is with fentanyl poisoning. It's ending up in our THC in other drugs. And it's important that we have these kinds of things in our hip hop community because, people do drugs, and that's a fact. So let's keep our drugs as safe as possible.
Well, and I think that's something that, obviously most of the population doesn't do drugs, right? So they don't realize the dangers of, addiction. And a lot of what's happening now is exactly like you said. You think you're getting one thing, and then it's laced with fentanyl, and you're dead. And now somebody's child and somebody's brother or sister or, somebody's parent, right, is dead now because of it. And yeah, it's really easy to go, well, don't do drugs. Okay, well, stop drinking your coffee every day. You
Yeah.
know,
I mean,
and let's wake up to the fact that you know what, 95% of this world, 95% of this country at least, is hooked on something. Whether that's TikTok, like we just saw all the freaking addicts come out of the woodwork there, right?
right.
If you're out there screaming about over an app, man, over something that's popping 30-second or less videos out to you, now you have some small taste of what it's like to be a heroin addict, you know?
Yeah.
No, minus
Yeah.
the sweats and minus the, the withdrawals when you don't have it and the
Right.
situations that you're gonna be in, right? But come on, man. I think there can be a lot more compassion for addicts and for people that, you know, we don't wake up one day with perfect lives and decide we're gonna throw it away for drugs. Most of us come from situations like me and you where life wasn't good. Drugs are a mask. Drugs are a something to make me forget about my shitty life, you know? And it takes a lot to pull ourselves out of that. I know for me, prison was that. Prison gave me the time to self-reflect, to look to the future of my children's lives. And the 2 years that they spent without me, I was bound and determined to let that be the only 2 years they ever spend without their dad.
Absolutely. Yeah. And uh, unfortunately, yeah, in prison, you either use that time to heal, or you end up on knucklehead time in there. And
Yeah, you use that time to network for when you get out and you're trying to go right back to the same stuff. I saw plenty of that too. I know you have.
yeah, and I unfortunately did that for the revolving door for a long time. But while I was doing that, I was collecting knowledge, and I knew that someday I would be using my platform like this to do change. And I think in my dreams and aspirations in the future are to become a drug counselor and stuff like that. But as for right now, I mean, yeah, these shows attaching awareness to a show like this and being able to pass out naloxone kits and test strips, and we'll definitely be bringing out some important statistics that show like I got a bunch of statistics to bring up at the event and stuff like that. I'm also going to be getting on Monday. I'll be doing an interview for the newspaper on the event, and then Thursday I'll also be on Coda Territory News on the event as
Perfect,
well.
man. Perfect. Well, maybe we'll try to pop this one off next Thursday so it's all hitting the stream at the same time. We'll try to amplify that message. And I know that Code Territory is not going to let you say shit on their program.
Probably not.
So we got Hip Hop for Hope. That's February 1st at the J Bar out there in Rapid City. Great spot. Great people that run it. They've been doing a lot of good things. A lot of friends have been playing there. But you're also coming out to my neck of the woods on the other side of the state here soon. Can we talk about the Hip Hop for Hunger shows?
Yeah, absolutely. So after that, March 1st, we have Hip Hop for Hunger, which is a food and fundraiser for feeding South Dakota. The door entry will be, $10 or five canned food items or $10. And 100% of all proceeds go to these charities. We're not taking anything. All these all these artists are providing their time and their energy and coming out and performing for free for these charities, and that's just amazing to me too. So we got March 1st in Spearfish at the back porch, and then April 12th at Windy City Bites in Sioux Falls, which is a huge one over there. I mean, I've heard some good things. I know it's not a big venue or anything like that, but I'm excited about that one just to get over East River with some of these artists and see what we can do.
Well, a little bit about me that maybe you didn't know. My family's from Chicago. So it was probably 3, 4 years ago, Windy City Bites. They were just a food truck. And I remember I still haven't yet to get up there and eat some of their food, but just seeing it where I was like, it's so funny, man. Little things that take you back, right? They had these the little bags they put their fries in. And it immediately took me back to being, 6, 7 years old and still living out there, and just it was crazy. So I've been a big fan of them. They've done some really cool shows, some really cool comedy shows that they've had there. So yeah, super cool spot here in Sioux Falls, Windy City Bites. Awesome, awesome people. Can't say enough about them. The back porch and spearfish, man, that's going to be a huge one. I know you're working together with some friends of ours, Dirty Dog Productions as well. Jenica and her husband Eric are just incredible people, and have the same heart as you do, man. We're about the artist, but we're about the cause, and we're about really using these platforms that we've all built. And maybe we're not Joe Rogan, right? But we all have people that are looking to us in our community to for guidance, and it's somehow just by, I guess, surviving this long, we've become the OGs, and have pulled ourselves kind of out of it, still in the scene, but out of the shit. And we want to be there for our communities to serve. I think it's so important, man, so that the next generation of kids coming up, these kids that, man, they're going through stuff too, right? But you don't have to turn to these drugs and this party. You don't have to turn to that, turn to music or turn to art or, turn to all these things that we just didn't, man. We made the wrong choices, and we're here to own it. And we're not here to tell you, no, don't do that. We're here to tell you, look, brother, we did it. Look, sister, we done that. You don't need to do this. You don't. There's a different way.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's lead by example for sure. And also when you're making your music, keeping your vibe right too, because you don't want to be, talking about using a platform for good things and then writing songs about killing people and selling drugs.
Well, and what's funny is that we had some cats up from Sioux City, or no, they came all the way from Omaha up to Sioux Falls, mutual friends. And I had them on to do their show, and the kid came out and like did this song that was all about these bitches and this, that, and the other. And then he's like, I love women. I don't mean anything by da 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 da. And I was like, but why would you even bother writing like either don't apologize for it and own it, right?
Yeah.
Or don't play the fucking song.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if that doesn't represent who you are,
right,
then why would you want to show that to the world? And I remember this kid got really butthurt about it. And you don't know anything. And I drove through, and I was just like, look, brother, obviously what I said, and I didn't even say it to him. I had told it to his friend, and his friend told it to him. So probably some things got lost in translation a little bit there too. But it was my first taste of being like, yeah, man, like you don't want to be putting out stuff that's not authentic to who you are. And if you have to go out there and before you play the song apologize for it, why do it? It's like that doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I do make fun party songs, and there's things in my lyrics that I don't absolutely do all the time, but for the most part, if you listen to my music, you'll hear a message, and loud and clear, really. Especially, I'm gonna be dropping a new album here in the next couple months, and an EP. I'm working tough with Jordan Truly, and he's an artist that's going to be emerging here too, and he's headlining these charity events with me. But yeah, him and I are working real hard together on bringing a good positive message EP out here. We'll be dropping soon.
I love it, man. Well, and I loved everything you shared with me. Not just your story, but your songs too. You brought some real vulnerability to our event. I don't know how comfortable you'd be with me sharing some of those, because I know we had some technical difficulties, and maybe daddy forgot a verse when he's rapping about his daughter on a song or something, but I was incredibly moved by it, man. And to know a little bit of your story, to know where you came from, to have been I've been there, man. I've been in those same prisons. We probably got mutual friends in there,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's just something that I never want to go back to, and I don't want to see anybody else go there either, for the sake of they just didn't have anyone to talk to.
Yeah.
They didn't have anybody to guide them, and we didn't have good mentors growing up. I didn't have any, brother. I was floating. I was doing like you, man. I'm an outlaw. I didn't give a and I was
Yeah.
doing whatever I wanted to do. And, after, getting out of prison and settling into, the regular job, I did 5 years welding in a factory and everything. But even that was like a different prison. I wasn't able to still, like, I was myself, but I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. Right. And what that is exactly what I've been doing for the last, 6 months to a year, is just out here being me behind a microphone, in front of a camera, using this platform and these platforms like Facebook and the social media things to reach more people, to tell more stories, and to heal people that we're never even going to meet, brother. And that's the beauty of this.
Absolutely. There's so much that I've learned since I've started performing music about other people. Like, doing all that outlaw shit, I never really got to engage with people that much. I always had to like worry if they're going to rob you or whatever the heck happens in that lifestyle. So I never really got to make a lot of really close friends outside of that world. And so a huge part of this for me is just engaging with fans and loving people.
Well, and it's hard to make friends when everybody's using everybody. You know what I mean? If you're the dealer, everybody's just a freaking custody. And if you're a custody, you know what I mean? Like, it's just those relations. That's not a relationship. You know what I mean? Y'all are just using each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And you really learn that when you sober up. And there's a lot of people that are still in that lifestyle that I love and will always cherish as friends and stuff like that, and pray for all the time. In fact, just this year, I've lost a friend to fentanyl, here in the Black Hills. It's super sad stuff.
Right. And I think that we like to pretend like it's not around us because we're in these small towns and everything, but it definitely is. I know you're probably working today and you got a limited amount of time. Why don't you go ahead and plug everything one more time? Tell us where we can find the shows, and then I'll let you get out of here.
All right. Yeah. So February 1st, don't miss us at the J Bar here in Rapid City. That's Hip Hop for Hope. And you can catch all that information on Facebook. March 1st in Spearfish at the back porch, we got Hip Hop for Hunger. Bring 5 cans of food, come through the door, and let's party. We also, Hip Hop for Hope, we have Dakota Faye coming down. He's a huge regional artist. He's awesome. I love his music. He's about to drop a whole new album, so I'm sure he'll be performing all that stuff. So get over there and don't miss that. And then in Spearfish at that Hip Hop for Hunger, we have D. Luke. He's going to be co-headlining over there with us on that. And then in April 12th at Windy City Bites in Sioux Falls, we have another Hip Hop for Hunger with Jay Gray Buffalo. He's an awesome artist. He's going to be co-headlining over there with us. And like you said, we got Dirty Dog Productions. Their artists are all over the place. We love them. We've been locked in with them. Happy. Artist.
I'm gonna see if my man Night Shield's got an opening on that April 12th, if he's gonna be joining you or not. Gabe's a good dude, man.
Talked to him, and I actually tried to get him to jump on that show, and he had something else going on, but he is gonna pull up and support. So, yeah, he'll be there.
He's great, man. Well, you got a beautiful community around you. You just keep going and keep letting us know about these shows so we can promote them through our channels, and just keep living, brother. You're doing it. I'm so damn proud of you every single day. And I love you, man. Thanks for being part of the scene.
Thanks for having me on, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks for tuning in to the Scene Projects Podcast Network. We appreciate you listening. You can find more at thesceneprojects.com. Join our community. Gotta know she'll pull the love that's made for two.
ocean breeze and sunshine feels like you loving me.